coming up on Voice of Art.
On this level of doing a street campaign with street artists, I think it's going to bring a different slant to the awareness that wasn't there before.
I still have the article somewhere at my house because I wanted to save it, you know, from like when it happened. I was like, look, man, this is history. Like, this is when they killed the murals in East LA. You know, sometimes we need to disrupt those things. It's important to disrupt that.
I got charged with 17 felonies and 4 misdemeanors at once. Fair's fair, right? What's good for the goose is, good for the gander.
I believe that art is the only weapon that the people have.
Hi, my name is Devin. I'm an LA resident and local artist. I'm part of a 3-man art collective called Cyrcle. We work on everything together, but we have our own backgrounds and specialties. Davey comes from a background of design. Rabbi specializes in spray paint and muralism, and I'm a self-taught oil painter. Though we have our own specialties, we function as one unit with every project we take on. We like the freedom to make art, which apparently is a freedom that the city of Los Angeles doesn't appreciate. Law enforcement has been cracking down on public artists, while more and more advertisements are filling the city every day. We went to our good friend Daniel Lahota to find out why.
Hi, I'm Daniel Lahota, the founder of the LA Free Walls Project here in downtown Los Angeles. We've been working on this for about 2 years, and we've got over 80 murals by some of the top muralists in the contemporary street art movement today. All very brave people who are here expressing themselves despite a mural moratorium and the potential of their work to be seen as illegal.
After the mural moratorium was passed, it became illegal for any murals to be painted in the city of LA, even murals commissioned by the property owners themselves.
Fortunately, the artists have been able to find a real champion in Tanner Blackman, who's a city planner at City Hall.
We in the city of Los Angeles have been revising or trying to revise their sign code for a few years now, since really in 2009 in earnest, and that's been held up in a few lawsuits. We, in 1986, moved the sign regulations from the building code to the zoning code. Prior to that, there were no regulations in the Los Angeles Municipal Code, no definition whatsoever, and that's how kind of from really beginning in the late 60s through the 80s, we were truly the mural capital of the world. What the effort was in 1986 in creating this current definition was to provide a protection and an exemption for fine art murals while clamping down on signs, right? So that worked for a while, but in the 90s, those exemptions were attacked under the claim that we were unconstitutionally privileging one type of protected speech over another type of protected speech, and that if we were going to allow unlimited space in our city for art, we must also allow unlimited space in our city for advertising. 2002, in response to this lawsuit, our city council members kind of took the least worst option at the time and threw mural signs under the same general ban as outdoor advertising. The amount of illegal signage in our city is kind of amazing. There are 3 total people in the city of Los Angeles charged with sign inspection. It's literally impossible for us to be out blanketing the city unless there's a complaint.
Hi, my name is Jim Bursch, and I'm an activist on the issue of billboards. I got interested in the billboard issue when the LA Weekly ran a story about how out of control billboard companies were in this city. And one of the main problems was the city had no idea how many billboards there were, let alone what was legal and what was illegal. And the city only has 2 inspectors that cover this whole city and thousands of billboards. These billboard companies make a lot of money from these billboards, and so the more billboards they have, the more money they make. These things are tremendously profitable, and the fines generally are pretty insignificant. It's just a cost of doing business for them. The last city attorney for the city of Los Angeles received free billboard space for his election campaign. And as a result, what we got was a sweetheart deal for the billboard companies who were able to give us these wonderful digital billboards here. He ended up ending up his term under a cloud of ethics issues. But again, it was just a cost of doing business for the billboard companies, and there was no harm that came to the city attorney. So the city should be collecting fees and taxes from the billboard companies themselves, but they don't.
It quickly became obvious that the billboard companies are up to no good, and they've been getting away with this for way too long.
Instead of actually doing anything about these billboards, they started to remove graffiti art, start to take our art, start to whitewash all of our murals. In East LA, not only East LA, but all over LA. It's the time, you know, it's a time to speak up.
I was on board the minute I heard about it. I mean, the public doesn't understand it, you know, and I think part of this campaign is just to start to generate some sort of public awareness, you know, to say, hey, you know what, we're so used to seeing these things pop up on every corner, but by the way, you know, these are illegal.
When the regular guy, a regular artist who wants to put something out for people to react to, it has absolutely nothing to do with consumerism. It's crushed, it's squashed, it's not wanted. We have a right to a voice. We need to be able to say something. And so long as you're not hurting moms, dogs, and God, what's the problem here?
The goal is to get rid of these billboards. They're putting up illegal billboards, and we should get big, giant Paul Bunyan axes and chop, 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 chop them all down.
We want change. We want to at least educate the people and continue to bring these things to the forefront, because otherwise they'll never change and they'll just get worse.
And tell them, Papa
And if
Bear.
you can't beat them, join them. That's our motto.
Right.
And join them, meaning we'll take over these billboards. We'll just get right up on there and put our message on there.
We as the people.
The American people.
Let's take those billboards down, boys.
Coming up on Voice of Art.
The terms of my probation, unfortunately, are that I'm not allowed to make any money off any piece of art that's documented in my case. I can't be out in the street with any kind of art tools on me.
Why did they raid your house and slap you with 17 felonies?
The city's afraid of the billboard companies.
We're always looking at censorship to come from the government, but now it's coming from corporations, and it's just as powerful.